Good day, and welcome to another episode of the Star Wars Minute. It's your daily podcast where we analyze, we scrutinize, and we celebrate the rise of Skywalker 1 minute at a time. I'm Alex Robinson from alexrobinson.fun.
I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.com.
Good day. I'm Steele Saunders from Steele Wars Podcast.
Thanks for returning to the show, Steele.
Well, you're beginning to learn my language, so I'm very excited. You're so hospitable.
That was totally coincidence. I just say a different thing every time, and it just happened to be that way. Anyway, we're here.
How's your bocce?
I don't know what that means. Oh, because it's yeah. Anyway, we're talking about minute 57 of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, Episode 9. It starts off with Rey ordering the droids to remain on the Bestoon legacy, and it ends a minute later with Rey wandering off from the group.
Yeah.
Hey, spoiler alert, what happens to the droids?
What do you mean?
They just hide there the whole time? I
guess we'll find out. I think so.
Okay, interesting.
Well, along those lines, it did take me... I would say a minute, but the whole thing, we're talking about a full minute. But it just took me a second to figure out when they're leaving, and she's like, "You three stay here." I was like, "Who three is she talking to? Like, what?" And I was like, "Oh, okay. Right. I forgot that there are 3 droids at this point."
Wait, where's R2-D2 now?
I guess back on
He's
Rebel
hanging out
planet.
with Rose.
Oh, he got rosed.
Yeah. They're in
Oh, wow. Oh.
They're in the lounge.
All these scenes were written with Princess Leia. Oh,
yeah.
They couldn't film them. I don't mean that about Carrie Fisher passing, but
yeah,
that's the thing with Rose not being in the film. It's like,
yeah.
oh well.
Most of her scenes were supposed to involve Leia and Beaumont Kin.
I
Snap.
did not appreciate Dio, the little droid.
Mm-hmm.
Like I sort of found him a bit unnecessary. Just another extra cutie droid to come in. And the fact that JJ does the voice bothered me because it was like him and I was in a bad mood with him. But I was at one Christmas it must have been the Christmas of that year, at Ross Dress for Less, right? And if you want bargains, that's the place to go.
Sure.
And I got Harry a Dio lamp that's pretty much life-size to Dio, and it lights up while we read books at night. We still use it every night. So now I love Dio. Like the merchandise is, I've had such good memories around that piece of Star Wars merchandise. Bought at low prices, mind you. That now in the movie, I'm like, Dio.
There's our lamp.
Mate. See you tonight. See you tonight. Let's go.
He's like the Pixar lamp. Like,
well, we did it. Steele likes the movie now, so we should just wrap it up now.
There's tons of things I like in the movie. This dialogue. I find it
that you 3 stay here.
George Lucas could never have written a line. He could never have written a line like that.
Yeah. No, a bit further on in the minute.
All right.
So the gang goes running off, and they leave the bodies just laying there out on the deck.
That stuck out to me as well. Yeah.
Does seem a little bit like, should we have done something with that?
Also, Rey, just force how rad would have been to see like those troopers get force pushed up the ramp into the ship.
Wow.
A bit macabre, but let's go.
Yeah, just like a big like, and they all just bodies just fly in there, and then cut to POV inside the ship, and C-3PO and Dio and BB-8 are just standing there. And all of a sudden, some stormtrooper bodies come flying in behind them.
This continues to be madness.
What are the odds of that happening, huh?
Could a Jedi theoretically, like, if they wanted to infiltrate a place, could they take 2 dead stormtroopers and just kind of levitate them as if they were walking next to the gang, so they would look like they were being
puppet them?
Yeah, basically,
like Weekend at Bernie's stormtrooper situation.
Yeah, you proposing that sort of thing, it makes me want to somehow like get you like banned from any potential Lucasfilm publishing,
even fan fiction, really. Just,
yeah, don't let him near the pen. Do not hand that over. That's awful, but compelling.
It'll happen.
like it.
It'll happen eventually.
Well, speaking of the stormtroopers, and speaking of things that we like about this minute, I did appreciate here the sound of stormtroopers marching is well done in these movies. I know we've complained about the stormtrooper voices, while the filtering, the voice itself is well done. It just always sounds like it's coming from nowhere or everywhere. But the marching, I was like, oh, that's a good, like, they got good stormtrooper marching down. I was like, I feel that, and it works with the scene here.
I feel like the modern stormtrooper voices, and it's a good crew that do them.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're trying too hard. Like the stormtroopers in the original trilogy were just dull, bland. These stormtroopers sound like they've got personalities. Like, do you know what I mean? Just like they were so much more beige sounding in
right.
Just banal of personality sort of thing. But
it wasn't Star Wars. You know, they didn't know they were being a thing. They were just
right. Yeah.
Get in this room and say these lines.
But I do adore the stormtroopers talking in this. I watching the like just the minute I did actually like start like I did laugh quite heavily reliving this one. It was good.
Well, I guess we might as well just get to it unless anyone else has anything from earlier. But the scene where she mind tricks the stormtroopers, I'm assuming that's what you're talking about with the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. I'm not... You are way more... Obviously, you've got the flight hours, but it's like, I like, because it's a minute, I'm like, yeah, I just jumped forward 23 seconds. Who cares? But for you, it's like, whoa, whoa, bro. We haven't even gone to the first ad break yet.
But yes, Ray mind tricks the stormtroopers.
Yeah. You know what my note for this is I think I'm done with the Jedi mind trick for a while. I think, you know, I don't think we need that anymore. Like it's a little bit overused.
You think there should be a few more Jedi mind tricks?
Oh yeah, maybe just one or two.
You're relieved you think this way.
And I'm not saying I don't, you know, I think I like the comedy beat here, and I think it's funny that it's like, you know, I like how they react. It's kind of, you know, but like overall, I'm like, yeah, you know, I don't know if I need that anymore. Like, let's take a break from that for a little bit.
I found it very, very charming,
Yeah.
and I like that, you know, Poe and Finn are like, should you do that to us? Like, I just that it's sort of like that concept. That sort of comedic angles never sort of like entered the universe. It might have been in Star Wars Rebels or something like that. But yeah, that sort of like comedic angle, like just to hit it once. I found that rather amusing.
Yeah, I mean, it works in this scene, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of done with that. But that's just, who knows? Maybe that's just my mood today.
It is coming out. It is funny to imagine if you had the power to do the Jedi mind trick, how many minutes would it be before you started abusing it for personal, not even like big things like, oh, you will empty the bank vault to give me all your money, but more like you feel like emptying the dishwasher, you know, that kind of like little like things like
to the bank manager. That's what
exactly.
I'm telling the bank manager to empty my dishwasher.
You don't want to host your parents for Christmas. You know, that's sort of a...
I've thought about it, and I feel like the most ethical way to benefit through Jedi powers is definitely casinos, because they like their profit margins are just insane. So I feel like that it's a worthy person or worthy corporation or entity to
you don't feel bad about stealing from a casino.
Right. Well, it's not stealing. It's, you know, somehow it's influencing.
You don't feel bad about making someone else steal from a casino. That's more the way it is. So.
Oh no, I wouldn't. No. I'd be like making the roulette stop where I want and things like that.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So
the dice and all that sort of the dice. I think that's probably the easiest. As and Qui-Gon's already done it. So
yeah,
it's an established force power. Cheating at craps.
Exactly. But I feel like that's the most because I wouldn't really want to, you know, I don't know if I want to force people to do the dishes.
You don't want to do like a heist of a casino. You just want to like influence the outcome of a couple of things.
Yeah.
Slot machine maybe, just kind of like give a little push on the dial to make sure it lines up in the right thing.
I think that would be harder, actually. That
Probably.
might trigger some sort of tampering deal. Yeah. I feel like I have thought about it a fair bit. So the dice, or
here's
the roulette.
Yeah. Alex, you're the driver. Steele and I. No,
I'm the pilot.
You're the pilot.
So, like you could enter the mind of the dealer, so you know what card he's got, maybe. But then that's sort of like you're going into someone's mind, so that's a violation. You know, dice do not have minds. You cannot violate them.
Right. Yeah, it's good. Or even not even reading their thoughts, but you could basically convince them to take another card when they don't need one or something like that. But even still, that's you're manipulating a person, whereas the
and you
dice
might get them
or the
fired.
roulette, yeah,
because the pit boss will see that they're not doing it, because they don't actually there's rules about when they get new cards. They have no choice. They have like a set like formula. It's my fault because I did skip forward 23 seconds. I apologize. But I do love the line follow me, where we going? No, where are we going? No, and then Finn says, "No idea, follow me."
Yeah.
I like it bothers me, like the "this is madness" thing. Like those recycled lines really bother me. But when they come up with stuff like this that you could have wrote for Han Solo in the Death Star to say in Star Wars it would fit, but it's new. Like that's very nice.
It is a good line.
A good bit of Finn action there, I thought.
Yeah. And I like that he's like because he used to work for the same company, they're like, oh, he's got to know everything about it. And he's like, let's go this way. Like he's like the go-to guy for the First Order stuff, even though he doesn't always know.
It's actually a bit of a meta comment as well, because in these hallway scenes, it does seem like, to me anyway, that they're just running around the same 50 feet of hallway from different angles for about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is very Star Wars.
Yeah, right?
Although, one of my notes is, conversely, as much as this is very Star Wars, it's also very not Star Wars, because I just had to mark down, like, had to make a note of how absurdly Teal this all is. How much blue light is just seeping in from everywhere. And I know it's, it's modern filmmaking, and it's, JJ in particular really leans into that, but like, holy cow, this thing, it just seems like it's almost shot in like a backyard pool or something like that. It's so...
Yeah. I remember when it came out and people were posting like images. I don't even know how they had the images before the color grade and then the normal, and like in the Palpatine scenes, how it was so dark and that. And it was like, that's not something that I think about. But then when you mention it, I'm like, oh yeah, the whole thing's like really blue.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just as... Oh, there you go.
Teal harvest.
You're making me like it more. Teal harvest.
So these stormtroopers.
Stormtroopers.
I was looking up. I was like, these stormtroopers get like a comedy bit, so they have to be somebody. There has to be somebody famous, at least doing the voice, if not in the costume. And one of them is someone semi-famous. Did we already discuss this?
I don't think so. I don't know.
There's one of the stormtroopers is an actor, Dave Hearn, who's been in other. He was in a play. I think J.J. Abrams did. Weird to imagine him doing a play. The other one is J.D. Dillard, who's a screenwriter. He plays FN. I figured out something in this bit. They seem to. J.J. Dillard is FN 1226. And his birthday is December 26th.
Oh.
Actor. So also apparently Danny Harrison, George Harrison's son, has a cameo somewhere in this as a stormtrooper. He's FN 0878, and he's born.
Are you serious?
August in 1978. Yes.
George Harrison's son's in this.
George Harrison's son is in it. And
that kid, there's a Nepo baby for you.
Yeah.
He used his fame to like have the Bones Brigade come visit his house for dinner, like in the late 80s.
Wow.
Like he went to a demo and because he's like the Beatles' son.
Yeah.
All Tony Hawk and that went to his house for dinner to meet, George. And now he's parlaying into like, it's like, oh, come on, mate. Just stop cashing in on all the things I love when I was little.
Yeah, that must have been weird because basically, I'm assuming any person he wanted to meet, he could just be like, yeah, because everyone wants to go meet an ex-Beatle, so like,
right.
Carte blanche. Anyway, so Nigel Goodrich, a producer for Radiohead, FN 2802, of course, born
and Beck
28th of February. So, anyway, yeah, I don't know if that's them actually in the costumes or not.
Just doing the voice.
Just doing the voice, yeah.
But that's what I mean, like too much effort. Like this, like it's too special for you. like in the sound of the voice, like you're putting in. It's
they're acting.
Yeah, like
what he should do is be like, tell his friends that they get to be in Star Wars, and then kind of surprise them. Just like hop out with like a Zoom and a microphone and be like, okay, right now we're in the elevator. You got to say like, these aren't the droids you're looking for. What? And like get his friends just to without putting in too much effort, just get them to say it on the fly like that. First take, use it, put it in the movie.
I think, like Force Awakens, J.J. Abrams, real sets, practical effects.
Mm-hmm.
Be about it, buddy. Hypnotize your friends and get them to read the lines.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, like give us some realism. It's everything's changed, but it's different. Come on, let's go. Live by it.
So this would have been this is a great example though of it seems like this would be a good time for Finn to be like, hey, let's help these guys and get them, you know what I mean? Like you will help us escape or whatever. And then like Finn trying to save some of these guys rather than do you think they kill them after they're done? What do you think happens to these two stormtroopers?
Oh,
they just wander away or do they?
I feel like they just wander away.
That's the,
what isn't it in? Was it in the certain point of view books where they had the kind of the firsthand account of one of the stormtroopers who had been Jedi mind tricked after the fact? And they're like, I don't know. So it's just like briefly, all I wanted to do was exactly what he told me. You know what I mean? It was like the reckoning of what it feels like to have been mind tricked.
So they'll remember meeting these. They'll remember meeting them. I mean, unless I guess they're specifically told you will not remember any of this.
Right.
This kind of.
I was never here.
Like you could just do what Obi-Wan, you will rethink your life and you will leave the First Order. You know what I mean?
To everybody. Just get a megaphone and be like, you all rethink your choices.
And they all become death stick stealers.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it does. I mean, it would, the one time that we had the guy who, we had the traitor guy who kind of recognized Finn, it would be interesting to have him more. And again, another of my complaints about this movie is that they did not bring back Captain Phasma yet again. I would have liked one more Phasma, make her crazy, kind of Jason Voorhees, kind of like, how did she survive? We don't know. Doesn't matter. She's a villain. But to have her kind of in this again as that, and have her recognize him, both on the bad side and have people recognize him on the good side. So going back to what Steele was saying, what you were saying about the having people inspired by him, having them see him and be like, oh wait, like he did get out and he did fight against this, and he could have some people throw down their arms.
How is one of your complaints about this film that another person wasn't brought back from the dead? Come on.
We established a pattern here. We thought Phasma was dead after The Force Awakens. No, yep, here she's back in The Last Jedi. We thought she was dead after The Last Jedi. Bring her back for this.
Come on. God, you killed Phasma.
Yeah. It's less of a pattern and more a rule. It's like, everyone's back. Let's go.
Yeah.
Should have just like random people, like Greedo should have been back in this.
Uncle Owen.
Yeah.
I say that with every movie.
I thought the character was dope, but I think Back from the Dead's one of my least favorite things.
Well, she was already back from the dead, right? Didn't she
Yeah, but that's double. So
Door's already open.
yeah, that was I felt like that was one of the sort of lost characters of the trilogy. Like, you know, based on like your anticipation before the film came out, sort of thing. It didn't really go that too.
Well, that is a Star Wars tradition with Boba Fett.
Yeah,
you know, everyone expected him to be a real butt kicker, and then he just winds up as a burp joke.
Yeah, but Jeremy Bullock wasn't going around getting much press.
Yeah, it's true.
Either.
It wasn't like a big name actor the way Gwendolyn
Christie
was. So, and then Rey wanders off. Pete, you mentioned this, I think, last week that it must be weird to be friends with a Jedi who's constantly just kind of like, wait, I'm getting a feling I should walk this way without talking.
In the middle of something else. You're doing something important, and all of a sudden they're like, oh.
It'd be like, you know, being friends with an addict.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They've always got to sneak off to do their stuff.
She's hooked on the Force.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And she's trying to hide it. It's like, where were you? Nothing. What? Huh?
Were you levitating again? So my last note had to do actually was going back. Were you going to say something? Go ahead, Pete.
No, I was looking through my notes. I'm rethinking my life. No, I did. Last note was about the mind trick thing, and it works for comedy here. But again, we'll see. Does it come back up again?
How is it that the Jedi have that power, but the Sith do not? It seems like a much more Sith-y power than it does a Jedi power.
Maybe it's because it's their powers fueled by anger. They don't have the patience to go in the mind to do that. They're more just chokers.
Although we did see Kylo Ren.
Yeah, but that's more of an but mind reading's different than mind control, I would say.
I would agree.
Because it's not like he doesn't like ask them. Like Poe Dameron doesn't tell him where like BB-8 is or the map is. It's he gets it out, sort of thing. So
right,
I feel like that might be a good little like Pavlovian, in honor of Pablo Hidalgo, like reason why the Sith they're too angry to do the work.
I would counter with they can do it. We just haven't seen them do it because we have the again. It's like the one character that we saw from that planet is a bounty hunter. Therefore, all the people on that planet are bounty hunters. But it's just like, all right, well, we just haven't seen a Sith do that. We've only seen Jedi do that. Doesn't mean it's not a thing.
So we can assume that they've got mind control and thusly speed run. I'd love to see Sheev like do the force powered speed run down a Death Star corridor one time.
Totally, just not for any important reason either. It's just like he's
hey, when you're getting old, you got to hit that bathroom.
I think he traded off speed running in exchange for spiraling through the air attack formation. I saw him do in
corkscrew.
Yeah.
I always think when he does that, like on his joystick, he went down, across, punch, kick, or something. Like it's a real Street Fighter 2 vibe. Yugen.
Has there been a Star Wars kind of one-on-one fighting game since Masters of Terras Kasi?
That was the banger.
I think it's time for a new one.
I think there's like maybe one where you fight with lightsabers or something, like on your iPhone.
But with known characters, we need like a Super Smash Brothers, but for Star Wars. So let me throw that out there.
Like I see ads for like Jedi Power Battle or something like that. But ones that are on your phone, they're like, I don't know, do they exist?
Yeah,
they're just sort of like a different canon of video game.
Yeah.
Although the Lego Star Wars on the iPhone is banging.
Oh, I didn't know they had it for iPhone. Maybe I'll look into that.
It's good. It's good if on a long distance flight with a 4-year-old.
I'll have to get one of those too before.
Yeah.
I do have to say where the clip is paused on, which is Poe Dameron like you can see his sort of shoulder holding the blaster. They went off on his costume. Like they just dashinged the hell out of it. Like, they finally just went, we need to give this guy an outfit as handsome as his head.
Yeah.
Like with the cravatty scarf, and then he's got the gloves, and then his sleeves rolled up.
It's a good look.
It's a good look.
Ooh.
We're like, whoa, Dameron.
I interviewed him for this movie, and he was like stunningly handsome. Like I was like, dude, you are very pleasant to look at.
Did you make a move on him just to what the heck?
Did he say, "Can I kiss you"?
Well, yeah. If only I'd seen the film first, and I would have known how ragingly hetero he was.
Right.
I never would have stepped to it. Or you could, you could be be bi, but very inappropriately forceful. I just think he just like chill. It's inappropriate. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like there's going to be like this sexual harassment scandal in the New Republic. Like one of the top pilots is just harassing agents.
I feel like when they first meet back up, I feel like she's kind of also. She seems to drop a lot of hints that she wants him again. At first, she's very kind of like.
Oh, that's what men tell themselves, though, Peter.
Well, yeah, I'm There is.
What are the hints?
It doesn't go much. She's very much kind of like she wants him. She was like, hey, literally, she was like, let's run away together a couple of minutes ago.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's definitely something there. There's a past and there's a established relationship, and that's it doesn't go beyond suggestion, which is good. But I guess
it might explain why she doesn't.
Say we'll see more of that. We don't see more of that.
Yeah.
We don't see Zoria Bliss again until
the end.
Yeah.
It might explain why she didn't take her helmet off, because she knew Poe was going to make a move. So she's like, I'm going to keep the helmet on just to have a barrier between me and this handsome fella.
I don't know if it's like because Kerry Russell did so much press, or it's just her voice. But like, I did actually have to think, like, getting back into the film, was like, oh, she doesn't take her mask off.
Yeah.
Like, because she's just so, I don't know, her voice is just so familiar or something. But yeah, she really Kerry Russells it up, which I enjoy. I'm a fan of her and her Kerry Russelling.
So my last thing actually is going back to the dead stormtroopers at the beginning. Is that I guess I'm glad they didn't do it. Have them dress up in the stormtrooper costumes to attempt to go infiltrate, because that's not a very thing. But that would have been a nice bit of reverse ring theory about dressing up as stormtroopers to go rescue Chewbacca from the detention cell, as opposed to pretending to bring him to the. It would have been a callback there. But
what about if they went in dressed as themselves, saved him, and then got him out dressed like stormtroopers?
I like it.
Completing the circle.
Yeah. And I know you just said you didn't want to see it. You're glad they didn't do it, but there would be a certain satisfaction to seeing Poe's, Finn's reaction rather to putting the stormtrooper outfit back on. You know what I mean? He could have had a moment of being like, ugh, like him kind of confronting his past and then putting it on in order to get him out. Like, this is what he's willing to do to save his new friend.
That's a best case scenario for them putting the stormtrooper suits back on. Like that moment is interesting. Oh, I never thought I'd have this back on again or whatever.
Right.
But I'm not giving them the credit to be that introspective. If they included them changing, that they'd have the introspection to add that line in.
Right.
Because they don't. Like, there's no hint of like Finn's. Like, is there in the whole film where he's got some sort of like longing to help the troopers, or thinks about that he used to be a stormtrooper?
Well, I guess when he meets up with Janna, those aren't they all stormtroopers who ran away?
Yeah.
So, but
yeah,
I don't remember it being especially emotional for him or anything. So, well, all right. I guess that'll wrap up minute 57, unless anyone else has done anything specific about this minute.
No.
Wait there.
Okay.
Although now that we're talking about the stormtrooper outfits, I think to counteract the aggressively hetero overtones of Poe's relationship here, I think we should have had them put on the stormtrooper outfits and just had like a good 7 to 12 minutes of them just changing into the stormtrooper outfits together.
How does this clip on? How does
Finn
it
and
do
Poe just kind of and he has to help him because he knows how to put them on. So they have a moment of them changing together.
It's easier to put on if you put this oil on first. Let me oil you up, and then the costume will slide right on.
It would have been sick if it showed they sort of like vac on Marty McFly's jacket in Back to the Future 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you know what I mean? Because like in real life, the 501st, they've got to put it all on lumbering.
Yeah.
But it'd be sick if it was just sort of like a suit they could get onto and then go and it just all went that'd be
instant fit.
Or better yet, just have it be like Iron Man, where it's just like a belt, and then they press the belt buckle, and then suddenly the costume just covers their whole body instantaneously.
No.
I want it to be more like the Play-Doh set, where it's just like they walk into a thing, and there's a thing that kind of presses around them, and it just
that would
stamps it onto them basically around their body.
That's almost like the Lego Star Wars, where it's just a conveyor just drops the helmet on you when you push the lever. But I do like at the end of this how Rey senses a big plot device on the ship. She's like, I gotta go get this MacGuffin.
Yeah.
What's MacGuff?
Her MacGuffin sense is going off.
Right.
So this is in the film before they go to the Death Star. Yeah.
What?
In
the Death Star?
Yeah.
You mean that moon? No, wait. What are we? How are we?
They don't go to the Death Star in this film. Oh, you mean Exegol, the planet, or the Endor moon?
Dude, the Death Star's in the water.
The chunks of Death Star that they do visit.
Yeah.
It took me a minute. Yeah, it is. I agree. We were just thrown for a loop. We're not thinking that far ahead. Yes, they haven't gotten there yet because they don't have the dagger. They know where to go, but they don't have.
Okay, so what do you? Can I just ask about the dagger now?
Well, let's talk. We'll do some dagger talk tomorrow because we.
Okay, we've got some daggers tomorrow.
Yeah,
okay,
we see the dagger.
That's our trick to get you back.
Little teaser for upcoming events.
Mm-hmm. Daggers.
All right, well, dear listeners, Steele has been kind enough to share his opinions with us these 2 episodes so far. Hopefully he'll continue. But we also want to hear from you. Call our hotline, 8-Day Greedo, on your telephone, and leave us a short, hopefully ideally entertaining message about something else in the film, whether it's, do you have a strong opinion on Lando's daughter showing up? Or what do you think about the wreckage of the Death Star? Cool or gratuitous? Let us know. Call 8-Day Greedo. And then join us tomorrow for another brand new
Star Wars Minute.
Star Wars Minute.
Minute.